Hello everyone. In today's video, I have a pattern review for you. We're going to be reviewing Vogue 1952. It's this really cute full wrap dress, and the pattern review is in preparation for an upcoming sew along. So in the pattern review, I'm going to talk to you about the details of the dress. I'm going to talk to you about the pattern sizing, and I'm going to show you several options for fabric. Now, if you are part of my private email community, you've already received all of the links, so you should be prepared to go for the sew along. If you're not part of my private email community and you would like to receive advanced notifications of sew alongs and tutorials and other sewing related content that will be released here on my YouTube channel, then tap the link in the description box to join my community and you will receive notifications for all things Anita by Design. So let's jump in. Okay, here's a look at the finished dress. It is a full wrap dress, and I was drawn to the pattern because of the neckline. I love the collar. There you can see it is attached to the neck band that extends all the way down the length of the front of the dress, which helps to give it a really nice fit. View B, which is what we'll be sewing, has the short sleeve. And this is, as I mentioned, a full wrap dress. There we have the ties that tie over to the side. And then there you can see it is a full wrap dress. This is not a faux wrap. It is actually a real wrap dress. Beautiful. And there you can see the neckband along the back. And there is a view of the back of the dress. It's a really nice pattern. Okay, let's take a look at the pattern envelope. You can see we have two different views. View A has the straight skirt and no collar, and then the 3/4 inch sleeves with a sleeve band that has a slit. And then view B has the flared skirt, the short sleeves, and then the collar. Let's take a look at the back. So the company rates the pattern as easy, and I do agree. So if you are a beginner with basic sewing skills, you should be able to follow along with the pattern instructions to finish the garment. But if you will be following me with the sew along, then you should really be able to complete the dress because I'm walking you through the process from beginning to end with lots of details. Now, moving down to the pattern or the dress description, I want to bring your attention to the fact that they are recommending hand sewn hems for the dress. In the sew along, I'm using a sewing machine to sew the hems, but you can actually sew your hems by hand if you desire. Moving down to the fabric suggestions, they are recommending, or the pattern is designed for moderate stretch knits with a 35% stretch on the cross grain. So they are suggesting matte jersey and silk jersey. And you can use the stretch guide on the back of the pattern envelope to help you test whether or not the fabric that you're using has enough stretch that is appropriate for the garment. So you will take your fabric and fold it in half. And you want to measure a length of the fabric 4 inches, which is indicated in this white rectangle. So from one end to the other end on the white rectangle. And you want to make sure that you're not starting at the edge with the selvage. You want to move away from the selvage, and then you're going to measure from one end to the other on the white rectangle, making sure that you're not stretching the fabric. Then after you have that measurement, you want to stretch over to the right to the end of the black rectangle. And if the fabric stretches that far easily, then it's a good option. But if it returns to its original shape, that's even better because you want a fabric that has good recovery when you're working with knits. So if I stretch over and I release it and it doesn't go back to its original shape, then that garment is going to stretch out of shape while you're wearing it, and that is not a good look. So make sure you're using something with a good recovery. So this is the fabric that I used to make my wrap dress, and it's a great option. It's a jersey knit. It's a brushed poly knit, which gives it a really soft feel on the body. And then here you can see how the fabric drapes. It has good movement, so it's an excellent choice for the wrap dress with the flared skirt. And you can see the backing is white, so it'll be easy to see when you're stitching and marking your transferring your markings onto the fabric. So this is a great option actually for both view A and B. And then here's another option that I thought would be great for view A, which I actually purchased it because I think it's a beautiful fabric. But I think this would look really good. It's a more stable knit. It's a knit jacquard. And when you look at this fabric, oh my goodness, it also has a nice drape, not as drapey as the brushed poly knit, but it's beautiful. And then there you can see the backing, but this is going to look amazing with view A of the dress. Bold colors. Here's another option for both views actually. It's a rib knit, and it's a nice stable rib knit. It's not the really stretchy thin knit. So it's a great option for the dress. And here you can see that this one also has a nice amount of drape, nice amount of movement. So this would look great, especially for view B with the flared skirt, but I think it would also work for view A. And this next one, this is not a recommended, or this is not a suggestion on the pattern envelope, but I think a sweater knit, this cable knit would be amazing for view A, the straight skirt. Look at that. I love the print. It has a nice amount of drape. This would look nice with view B also, the flared skirt, but especially for view A, and there's the backing, especially for view A, this would be a very sharp look. And they have a lot of different colors. At my local Joann's, there were a lot of different colors. I'm going to link to their page for this fabric on the website so you can check it out. But there are a lot of beautiful colors that you can choose from. And I just think the print is excellent. This fabric, you can do so much with it. And then this next one I think would be nice for view B with the flared skirt. It's called a pointelle knit, and I think it has a really nice amount of drape. So take a look at the drape. It moves really nicely. Now this one is a bit thinner. This one is on the thin side, so I would use this for view B with the drape and perhaps wear a skirt or a slip underneath. Great option. Okay, let's take a look at the sizing. So I cut a size 10 and I didn't have to make any pattern alterations for the fit that I wanted. So my current measurements, and I say current because things are always changing. So my current bust measurement is 34 inches and the finished bust measurement for the dress for this pattern is 33.5. So that gives me half an inch of negative ease, which is good for the fit that I want in the bodice. I wanted a snug fit. My current waist measurement is 27 inches and the finished waist measurement for the pattern is 27 inches. So that gives me a close fit, a skin tight fit. My current hip measurement is 36 inches and the finished hip measurement for view B, the flared skirt, is 45.5 inches. So that gives me plenty of room for the drape on the skirt. So you will decide based on the fit that you want in the bodice area what size you're going to cut using the finished garment measurements on the back of the pattern envelope. And then for your skirt, if you're making view A, then you want to choose carefully for the fit. And then for view B, your flared skirt, you want a lot of room in there. Okay, so I think that it's a great fit. I think that the measurements are true to size based on my experience. So hopefully it will be the same for you. Now there are no notions listed on the pattern, but in addition to your typical sewing notions, I want to show you two that I'm going to be using in the sew along. First, I'm going to be using a point turner to turn out the corners on the collar. So if you have this, that's great. If not, you can use any object that has a point on the end to turn out the collar. I will be leaving a link in the description box if you'd like to grab one of these. And I'm also going to be using hem tape. And I'm going to use this to stabilize the shoulder seam. Whenever I'm working with a knit fabric, I like to stabilize the shoulder seam just to make sure that it doesn't stretch in that area. So you can use hem tape, you can use clear elastic, you can even use interfacing strips. If you're going to use interfacing strips, I would use it or cut the strips lengthwise instead of widthwise so that you don't get the stretch. Okay, and the brand that I'm using is Sewology, and I picked this up from Hobby Lobby. You've been inspired, you've been encouraged, you've watched other women sew their own garments, and you've said to yourself, I want to learn how to sew. Who's going to teach me? Well, I have exactly what you need. An online sewing course called Learn to Sew, Mastering the Basics, where I teach you, the new beginner, the person who has never even touched a sewing machine before, how to sew your own garments. And what's special about my course is I take you from beginning to end, start to finish, step by step with lots of details so that you don't get lost in the process. In this course, I teach you what type of needle to use based on your fabric choice. You will learn how to use the different cutting tools for your projects and how to sew a proper stitch based on the fabric that you're using. We take you into the fabric store and show you how to choose your fabrics and what happens at the cutting table when you purchase your fabric. You will learn how to lay out your pattern pieces onto your fabric and how to cut into that fabric for success. And of course, we show you how to use a sewing machine from beginning to end. This and so much more is waiting for you inside of my course, Learn to Sew, Mastering the Basics. Tap the link in the description box to get started. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the pattern review. If so, make sure you hit the like button. And if you will be sewing this dress, I highly recommend you get a copy of my free PDF sewing checklist. The checklist helps you to gather everything that you're going to need for your projects in one area so that when you start sewing, you don't have to get up to go and try to find all the things. And this really helps to streamline the process. And I have a full video around this topic on my YouTube channel, so you can tap on the screen or in the description box to watch that video. If you would like to see more photos of the dress, including the insides, then tap the link in the description box to the blog post. I've posted lots of photos of the dress, both inside and out, and some close-up views. And then stay tuned for the sew along. I'll see you then. Bye.